6 master replica sabers. They're originals. Cool. Yeah, so I live in Marin County, and I live I don't know, 10 miles from Lucas Valley Road, as in George Lucas. And I worked at Lucasarts from 99 to like 2007. So I worked on way too many Star Wars games. So that also means that I have a very strong love-hate relationship with Star Wars. I'm not like I'm a gamer first, and then a Star Wars fan second, I guess. You can put it in the list. I enjoy Star Wars, don't get me wrong. There's amazing things in the universe. You know, but the sad reality is that when I worked at LucasArts, our best Star Wars games for, you know, after coming out of the, like, I think Jedi Knight was a very good, and Jedi Knight 2 was also really good. That was on the PC shooter side. I think we did a great job there as an internal studio. But most of our best games came from third parties, right? I like one of my big games I worked on was Star Wars Battlefront. Not the current Battlefront, the OG Battlefront, and Battlefront 2, where I did a lot less there. But I played a boatload, over 1,000 hours of PlanetSide. PlanetSide easily influenced Star Wars Battlefront. And when we were developing Star Wars Battlefront, the tech was coming online late. We had real problems with design. Every side was the same. There was no side differentiation out of the 3 sides. And so a rocket launcher was a rocket launcher was a rocket launcher. And so I was really into playing PlanetSide with my buds and my son at the time. And so I wrote like a very, very like, it's easy to have too many words. And if you have too many words, people won't be able to pay attention. And so at LucasArts, one of the things that was beautiful is that as a QA person, you were considered a full-fledged developer. Like you would get attached to projects sometimes a year out. You would help understand systems. You would test them deeply. And then you would also try to assess the quality of the game, hence quality assurance, and give that sense of like, is it ready to go or not? And we always rushed our stuff a little bit. But that's also partially because we put ourselves on a series of deadlines for releasing Star Wars games, along with both on our side, but also along with the movies as they were coming out, right? So anyways, I digress. Point being is that I wrote this document where I remixed all of the abilities. And so like the reason why we have double rocket launchers and grenade launchers with slow fuse versus that, some with bigger area effects. Like I went through and just did like a full rinse and wash to try to remix as much as possible to get people to be able to have that conversation, the most important conversation when you're making choices to play on one side versus the other. This side's rocket launcher is my thing, or, you know, like you get special classes and whatnot, and I think it's the strongest because it does this. No, I think this rocket launcher is better because it's this in this situation. And anytime you can create meaningful dialogue for players and to get them to analyze choices, then you have diversity in game design, and that helps just keep keeping, you know, like everyone's all like balance, right? I mean, look at Infinity Ward with Modern Warfare 1 and 2. Some of the biggest, largest leaps in FPS innovation. There's some other ones, don't get me wrong. These guys are super smart. Came in, you know, from those 2 games, right? And there were things in those games that weren't well balanced, as of all games, and they tweaked and tuned things, fair enough. But sometimes just creating things and seeing how people play with them and then figuring out how to tune them is, you know, like you can't, in the modern age, you can't get it all right. So it's almost in that games as a service, patches, etc. Modern game development is very much in that space.